Hey everyone, welcome back to part 2 of this Dark Vengeance battle report, in which Balthazar is leading the Dark Angels against Lord Cranon the Relentless and the Chaos Marines. So Dark Angels, turn 1. I begin by moving up the Ravenwing Bikers. They're full 12 inches so that they can shoot at whatever they want. I also moved up the Deathwing, but kept the tactical squad there so that the plasma cannon can fire. The plasma cannon then fired at the Hellbrute, which is the scariest thing on the board in my opinion. I centered the blast right over it and rolled a hit. And on the pen roll, I rolled a 5, which is a glance, so I got 1 hull point, which isn't bad for the first shot. The Ravenwing then fired on the Chosen, got 3 hits, and 1 wound. Dave rolled and failed his first armor save of the game, so 1 Chosen died. The assault cannon then fired at the cultists, got 4 hits, and out of those 4 hits, 3 wounds, but Dave passed 2 of his 3 cover saves, so only 1 cultist died. Chaos, turn 1. Dave began by moving up the Hellbrute so that it could fire its multi-melta at the Ravenwing, and moved his cultists into the other bunker to still get a 5+ cover save. He then moved up his Chosen to behind the bunker and moved his second squad of cultists out of cover, but there's not much that I can do to shoot at them anyway, so they're pretty safe. The Hellbrute fired at the Ravenwing with its multi-melta and rolled a hit, so the closest biker ended up dying. The cultists then decided to also fire at the Ravenwing. First they fired the shotgun, so 2 hits with the shotgun and 1 wound. They then fired everything else. I believe the red was a stubber, so a bunch of hits. The reds needed 5s, the whites needed 6s, and they got 2 wounds. I rolled 2 3+ armor saves and failed both, in which Dave laughed at me repeatedly. So both Ravenwing end up failing, and I lose the entire Ravenwing squad to cultists and a multi-melta. The Chosen then decide to run 2 inches, which Dave just uses it to pile up behind the tower, and Cranon runs 5 inches to embed himself in that squad. The cultists then run 3 inches, which he uses again to give him cover behind the building as well. So here's what the battlefield looked like after turn 1. Dave has already got 1 victory point for wiping out the Ravenwing squad. It should be worth noting that the Hellbrute and my Librarian are both worth 2 points, and killing the HQs is worth 3 victory points. So it tends to be a little bit weighted for victory points. So can the Dark Angels recover? We'll see in Dark Angels turn 2. Once again, I moved up the Deathwing 6 inches to get closer to the targets and assault, while keeping the tactical squad where it was, so that they could fire the plasma cannon. Once again, I wanted to fire the Hellbrute with the plasma cannon. I centered right over him, and however this time it scattered away. I then fired at the Hellbrute with the assault cannon, and only got 1 hit. My luck is just not with me today. With a 1 hit, no pen or glance. Nothing's going well. Chaos, turn 2. The cultists move up, right behind the Tower of Redemption, and the second squad of cultists also move out of cover, so that they can get closer to shooting the Deathwing and assaulting in. It should be noted that the Heavy Stubber did not move, so it could fire a ballistic skill. The Hellbrute then moved back to get a cover save, and the Chosen moved into the Fortress of Redemption. Once again, there is no moving through difficult or dangerous terrain, it is just for aesthetic purposes and cover saves. Interestingly, Dave separated Cranon from the squad and didn't attach him. The cultists then shoot the Deathwing. They get a bunch of hits, as you can see here. And out of all those hits, they actually managed to get 7 wounds on the Deathwing. I roll my 2+ armor saves, and 1 Deathwing dies to the shooting. Nice job. The Hellbrute then decides to multi-melta the Deathwing, because it will get through their armor save as it is AP1, but it fails to hit by rolling a 2. Cranon then shoots at the Deathwing, but also fails to hit by rolling a 1. As it got hot, he rolls his save and passes with a 4. The cultists then run 4 inches behind the Fortress of Redemption. This will get them out of shooting range, or shooting line of sight at least, from my guys. And Draznek's Ravagers run 3 inches through the fortress. So here's what the battlefield looked like after 2 turns. Dave is currently winning 1-0 by killing my Ravenwing squad, but there's still a lot of game to go, and we will see what happens. There's the Hellbrew getting his cover save, and most of the Chaos Forces are going through the Fortress of Redemption, about to pounce on the Dark Angels. So when you're ready, click on the link below to go to part 3 of this Dark Vengeance battle report.